A turf war rages on in Gotham. A crook is being tortured for information regarding a weapons shipment. Batman crashes the party, except it's not Batman, it's Batwoman. She gets beaten up and Batman comes to her rescue. He uses insane strategy to take everyone out, then scolds Batwoman for meddling where she doesn't belong. They continue to fight the gang and Batwoman continues being a burden on Batman. She is snatched away by a flying drone and he follows after her, doing a quick drive-by on one of the goons. She manages to shoot the drone and crash land inside a warehouse. She's attacked again and Batman has to save her before he takes out the last culprit, who reveals that they're working for someone new. Right on cue, the new player arrives and he looks like a copycat Batman. Batwoman is taken out in an instant, and once again, Batman has to intervene and save her. Onyx throws knives at him and he takes it like a champ. Ultimately, the new boss triggers an explosion and Batman is only left with the option of saving Batwoman before he vanishes in the explosion. A couple of weeks later at a Buddhist temple, Damian Wayne, Bruce's son, finds out that Batman is missing and decides to head back to Gotham. Later on, Nightwing is protecting the streets when Alfred gives him an emergency call and he departs to tend to his family. Alfred covers for the missing Bruce Wayne on his company board using technology. When Nightwing arrives, Alfred informs him that Batman has been missing for 2 weeks, 1 day, and 15 hours. If Batman doesn't return to the streets soon, criminals wreak havoc around Gotham and run wild, brother.
And what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the largest arms in the world run wild on you?
Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. right here in Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens. Don't you dare miss this one.
Back at Wayne Enterprises, Lucius Fox avoids questions about Bruce Wayne. He meets with his son and says that he's getting too old for this.
I'm too old for this shit.
He offers his son a job at the company, but his son is adamant on following his own path in the military. Meanwhile, Colonel Kane is having dinner with his daughter Kate, who says she's investigating Batman's death. The bat signal goes up, and the Batmobile speeds past them, which she goes after. Black Mask is receiving a shipment and suddenly the Batman interrupts, but it's actually Nightwing dressed like him. He takes them out with great skill reminiscent of the OG Batman. He then receives help from Robin, who's somehow able to dodge bullets from a turret. Batman does the same, and they get inside a moving truck, taking out everyone in there and causing the truck to crash. Right away, Robin recognizes that this isn't Batman, and it's Nightwing. They leave the scene to check out the rest of the crime in the city, but they are suddenly tailed by Batwoman, who corners them in a dark alley to make sure that this isn't Batman. She tells them that she was there when Batman died, even though it was totally her fault. She takes them to the site of the explosion and Nightwing suggests they work together, but she refuses. They leave and Robin accuses Nightwing of being happy that Batman is dead so he can take his place. This makes Nightwing angry and he says the last thing he wants is to wear the Batsuit. Alfred pulls up Batman's files on Batwoman. Turns out that it's Kate. Her mom and sister had died in an abduction, and Nightwing actually knows her. Later on, Kate is working with her father, who hands her pictures of the heretic. He managed to gather half the criminals in Gotham to work under him. Meanwhile, Lucius is working at Wayne Enterprises, and his son accuses him that there's a connection between the company and Batman. Suddenly, there is an explosion, and the goons arrive. The heretic grabs Lucius, and Nightwing is immediately notified of the threat. Lucius' son fights back, but the heretic overpowers him easily. He threatens to kill the young man if Lucius doesn't open the tech vault, and Lucius obliges. The goons grab a suitcase inside before the heretic stabs Lucius, and suddenly the lights go out. The Batmobile arrives, and Batman takes out the goons along with Robin, who more than holds his own. The heretic immediately recognizes that this isn't the real Batman and becomes offended. He takes out Nightwing but decides to save Robin by killing Electrocutioner. The goons run and manage to get away successfully. Lucius, however, is in extremely bad shape. Meanwhile, Bruce wakes up, but it turns out that he's actually trapped in a nightmare. He is being drowned by his family and everyone close to him. It's revealed that he's being tested on and studied by the heretic, and Talia al Ghul is behind all of this. They want to reprogram him, and Talia is Damian's mother. Later on, Lucius is in the hospital, and his son Luke is upset with Nightwing for hiding their Batman activities from him. Nightwing tells him to stay put while they deal with it, and he receives a call from Alfred. Meanwhile, Kate is in a bar meeting someone once called by Nightwing to meet up and she has to leave. They talk on a rooftop and reveal each other's identities before agreeing to get to work together. Damian back at the manor insists that he doesn't have a concussion and keeps complaining about his bed rest. Back at the meeting between the Bats, Batwoman reveals that Batman saved her life before. She recalls an attack he saved her from years ago, and that's when she decided to become like him. Back at the Batcave, Robin tries to sneak out, but the heretic shoots him with a tranquilizer. He fights him before he ultimately succumbs to the drug. Back with the Bats, Nightwing says that he wanted to be like Batman as a child, but not anymore after he grew up. Back at Wayne Enterprises, Luke breaks into the vault and steals a tech suit to make himself stronger and useful in the battle. We have another Bat on the streets. Alfred calls Nightwing to inform him that Damian is gone. Damian is taken to a weird monastery with his father and the villains. The heretic reveals that he's actually an older Damian who was born out of his DNA and aged quickly. He is the only prototype that survived, but he's empty inside. He wants to take Damian's memories as well as his soul so he can be complete, but Damian spits in his face. Talia then storms in and slaps Heretic with the fury of a mother. He pleads with her to accept him as her son, but she shoots and kills him. She then orders her people to recalibrate Damian's memories and program him and Bruce. Luckily, Alfred placed a tracker in Robin's suit, and they followed it. They're attacked by the Sisters of the Monastery before they're quickly surrounded. All hell breaks loose, but suddenly Luke arrives to aid them in the mission. He calls himself Batwing. How original. They fight their enemies, and Talia is told that there are 3 bats outside, and she decides to pack it up and leave. Outside, Batwing is chased by a missile. Damian releases Bruce, who is unresponsive. He keeps slapping his father until he wakes the Bat. Luke takes out the last of them and blows the door open, but Batwoman is attacked by Onyx. Meanwhile, an entire section of the monastery is falling apart. They continue to battle the goons, while Damian helps his father out. The goons are taken out by Luke, and Batwoman seems to be losing the fight. She then pulls a counter to take out Onyx permanently. Damian and Bruce fall off the ledge, but Nightwing grabs on to try and save them while Damian catches Bruce. They all fall off, but Luke saves them. They all gather on land, but Talia had already escaped. Bruce orders everyone to go back to Gotham, unsatisfied with what is happening in front of him. A week later, Bruce is training, refusing to get any rest. He says that they'll find Talia after a world summit he's leading, but Nightwing suggests he calls Kate and Luke, which angers Bruce. Alfred defends Nightwing's decisions while Bruce was gone, but Bruce reminds them that he now calls the shots. They get to the summit, and Nightwing trains while calling Kate to give her updates. Out of nowhere, her father tries to kill her, but she manages to dodge at the last second and fights back. She stabs him and knocks him out, while it appears that he was under some mind control. Bruce is introduced at the summit, while Talia's men infiltrate for a mysterious evil scheme. Bruce gives everyone a device to wear while delivering a speech, and the building flies into the air. Talia's men hack into the system as well as the Kim's devices everyone is wearing to begin brainwashing them. Meanwhile, Nightwing and Robin meet with Batwoman to discuss Talia's plan. She tells them that her father was under mind control and that Bruce is under her command as well. At first, Robin and Nightwing refuse to believe it. However, Batwing arrives with a shocking discovery. He opens up a list of names on Talia's hard drive that she wants to control all world leaders, and all at the summit with Bruce. Bruce knocks up Alfred, and they begin brainwashing everyone. The team flies to the airborne building, and they are picked up by Talia's radars. Talia gives Bruce his equipment to gear up and fight on her side. The team gets inside the building, and Batwing is chased by one of the goons. Talia demands that Damian join her or die. Batman joins her side, attacking the team, and an all-out fight breaks out. Alfred wakes up, and now it's up to him to break the mind control. The team continues fighting, and Nightwing takes on Batman, the teacher versus the people. Batwing is still fighting the same guy for the entire movie, but Luke finally wins and sends him crashing through the engine. Robin is getting his butt whooped, but somehow his opponent loses balance and falls off. Robin tries to save him, showing that he's matured, but the rope breaks off and the guy dies anyway. Meanwhile, the building is crashing, and Batwing tells Robin to transfer the power to the remaining thrusters. Talia fights Batwoman in a close and evenly matched contest. The building crashes into another, causing Batwoman to fall off, but she hangs on. Alfred fights and takes out the goons inside the summit, beating one while the other gets his mind fried, and everyone wakes up. Batwing tries to stop the moving building, and with the help of Robin, he does. Batman is still fighting Nightwing, and he beats him down. He's ordered by Talia to kill him and Robin, their own son, but he struggles with it. Finally, he puts the gun to his throat, and before you know it, he shoots Talia. He falls back, having regained consciousness and control. Talia eats a hand sandwich from Batwoman, and she's finally defeated. She jumps out of the building and escapes them once again on a ship. But this time, she doesn't escape Onyx, who takes her out for good as the ship crashes. Luke visits his dad, and Nightwing and Alfred watch as Bruce has a moment with his son. The city is back, now patrolled by Batwoman, Nightwing, Batwing, Robin, and best of all, Batman. But there is a new hero on the rise. This movie was a sequel to the previous installment, Batman vs. Robin. It completed the circle of Talia and Damian Wayne and reached a wholesome conclusion. We loved seeing the rest of Batman's proteges carry a Batman movie while Batman himself was away from the entire team. It gave us a new side to a typical Batman movie. We did have a problem, however, with Batwoman. The entire movie could have been avoided if she wasn't extremely annoying. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me what you think about this film. Did you enjoy focusing more on Batman's proteges? Or did you find them to be too annoying and too forced in the movie? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.